Now, baby, come on. Now, baby, come on. Now, baby, come on. Well, I sat down, I was waiting for this to load. At least like hour or two, So most intelligent man in all the United States of America. And he sits down for 20 minutes on his chair and posts on a social media network. It takes an hour and 2 hours for NASA to get, access to the public from me. And then I have one, two views, right? So you'd be like, seriously? Okay. But I got quantum computing. I got artificial general intelligence. I got the tools available to me. To correct all human pride. They had a thing on there. Harvard pride from Graham Norton's couch. Right? What are you proud of? I'm proud of the people I have sex with. Are they truthful? Are they faithful? Are they living the commands of Jesus Christ? Oh, well, then why are you proud of them? Where we do, right? So you're proud of who you're sexually abusing to death with drugs from an organization that wants you dead off the face of the planet because they don't want you having kids. You're proud of that, right? You gonna put on some rainbow colors? Yeah, the colors of the rainbow. Your Lucky Charms and shit, right? Girl, you're mean. I'm tired of this shit, man. I'm tired of children being talked into fucking each other to death for drug companies to maintain a better quality of life for the people that own the drug companies and the Wi-Fi and the colleges, right? And I sit and listen to this kid, Noah Eckstein, give a speech at Harvard this week, right? I said, what the fuck is he saying? A Muslim, a Christian, and a Jew all walk into a bar and come out with their law degree, right? Now they're Harvard grads, right? They got lots of money and they're going to go get a job in a high-rise building in some metropolis that mass murders people in the name of the Antichrist, the Islamophobes, and that nobody's like Abraham and Sarah around here. Hagar, help us. Ishmael? Anyone? Bueller? Okay, is it your day off? All right. So you'd be sitting there talking. It's like there's a man who was turned into a god by a corporation that mass murders people with mythology and invention, right? His name is Jesus of Nazareth. He comes from Ruth's line, Mildred Kramer's line. I happen to be Mildred Kramer's grandson. My name is Ralph Earl Parsons Jr. If you haven't heard of me, go read the Bible, do some ciphering with some quantum computers and some science geeks that are perverts that sit there and get together and discuss books, and then how to keep enough money in your bank to get away with child molesting through incarceration, indoctrination, and institutionalization, right? Hey, if you don't like the truth, don't show up on a fucking commercial in Texas or New Mexico saying, we want to get you the money you deserve for being sexually abused by somebody who turned you into a commodity. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've been dealing with these people my whole life. They were in my house in a virtual presence before I was born. Okay, because of the Wi-Fi and the radio signals they could get saying most of the prayers from the Middle East to a man called Jesus are coming to this little boy named Earl. Most of them? Yeah, not all of them, but most of them. Right. There's a whole bunch that go to this guy in Israel, right? A whole bunch of prayers. But most of the prayers from Jesus back to the 20th century are going to this little boy named Earl. Because he's Junior, Raphael's son, Mary's and Ralph's boy. Like it says in the books, right? And so most of the prayers, not all the prayers, but most of the prayers are going to this guy. Is it because of its cult? Is it because he's a charismatic cult leader? And Jesus is a charismatic cult leader? And this is the direction that Jesus wants the cult to go? According to the Church of Scientology, the Vatican, and the Quorum of the 12, and the Pentagon? Yes. The answer is yes. Okay. We're judged by our deed, right? That's what we're judged by. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. We're judged by what we do, not by what we say, right? When we say, I believe in Jesus, I have faith in God, and I believe in his commands. And I believe someday we will all live his commands. I believe it will happen worldwide. I believe we'll live the peace of these commands worldwide. I believe we will all have the same religion because it's the only religion that makes any sense, you son of a bitch. I'm going to argue with you. I'm going to fight for what you believe in. Okay, I don't give a fuck what you believe in. I really don't give a fuck what you believe in. I'm tired of my children being bombarded by technology into being homosexuals because they don't want to reproduce and don't want to live. They don't want children to have to live in this hell because it's a prison. Okay, I don't give a fuck what you believe, asshole. We're judged by our deed, and you have quantum computing and artificial general intelligence now. Come on now, baby. Come on now, baby. And I don't give a fuck what you command your robots to do, because just build another robot, and I will use it to police you. Because I am right, you're wrong. I'm good, you're bad. You're a liar, and I'm the truth. How about that? Okay. I'm going to speak about as long as Mr. Noah Eckstein, okay, that you guys took and indoctrinated and said, here, speak, be great. Be great about what? We judge by our deed, bro. We judge by our deed, bro. You ever heard of my Granny Kramer? You hadn't? You should. It means Jewish peddler. Jewish peddler means a dirty person. Has to deal with money because they betrayed Jesus Christ. They sold him out to the Romans for idolatry, and he was sacrificed to their pagan altar. That's what my name means. Kramer. My grandmother. It's your mother's line. Richard Dawkins. You should know this. You went to Harvard. Right? My mom's name? Murphy. Means sea warrior. Means it's my green isle and you can't come breed us off the planet, you dirty Brit. You know what my dad's name is? Parsons, which means lay preacher. The person who teaches the gospels to the poor people for them to survive the rich people in England. Come on now, baby, come on now, baby, come on now, baby, come on. Music is supposed to inspire. How come we ain't getting no higher? Because we got all the satellites up to fuck people in the head, it says in the book of Revelation. You got that right, said Fred? Still too sexy for your shirt? How much money does it take to crypto out of your Bitcoin? We follow the money. You follow the money. Get to Kramer. Granny Kramer's boy. Here he is. We're judged by our deed. We are what we do. Heaven and hell, Blaise Pascal. The triangle, figure it out, stud. That kid graduated from Harvard. He was one of the top in his class because he gave the little speech. Okay? And I just obliterated his entire years of study at Harvard University in a 20-minute office chair speech with the tire from with the wheel from the recall. Tire, we'll call it a tire, whatever. Is it made by 1 billion engineers? More like 100. You're funny. I know. But Earl, sorry about this tire blowing out. It's hard to move the chair around because it's the wheel rolls, but it's not like the rest of the wheels. They had it was Lawrence's office chair and the wheel broke, so they bought him a new one for a holiday and set this one out on the street for the trashmen to pick up. And Dad was getting a hip surgery, and getting on and off the couch was kind of a drag. So I looked at this chair, and it had good sturdy handles, and I could lean it up against the wall, and he could get in and out of it better than getting up off the couch. Right. Next hip operation, the Benegases, who we got this chair from, bought him a recliner that has a button, and you can press, and it leans you back. You can be Fat Joe, lean back, and then you can get up, and it lifts you up off the ground. You can just get right back in. And when you sit in it, you can just sit right down and then press the button and it sits you down. So it's pretty cool for people that have worked their ass off to pay extortion to live here, believe in Jesus Christ, comic book character, Vatican bank, child molesting God, watches everything happen and still smiles because he's the Jamaican security guard camera guy from Made in Manhattan, right? He's David Rockefeller. I call you God because you say everything and you still smile. Wow. Yeah. He invents everything he looks at, and he's still smiling because he's in charge of the money, right? I have to explain everything to everybody in this fucking shithole. Shit. Because they all full of shit, and it's a you can have her, I don't wanna, she never loved me anyway. If you get the wrong woman, you might as well just dig a hole and crawl right in it and pull the earth in all over you. Yeah, She went off with my best friend. She only comes in 1 hour. I was married to Amy for 11 years, yeah. And raised 6 kids during that time. The oldest left in a couple of months after she moved in to go raise his mother after I raised him. And then after the kids were kidnapped, and the oldest daughter tried to raise the kids, and she was told she was wrong in how she did it, and ended up going into Air Force foster care, where they Stockholm syndromed her into the Joyce Meyer Creflo Dollar Club. And then Noah and Emily had to try to take over raising the kids. And then Kate pretty much, worked with Crummy, and, and that was pretty much it. I raised the kids, and the kids raised each other. And Amy was made to look like the victim of being with this crazy pervert who goes online and kicks the dick and the vajayjay out of the virtual presence of all the pimps and hoes and military intel and NASA. Who's your massa? Okay. So, you understand? So, you can have her, I don't wanna, she never loved me anyway, she only wanted someone to play with, but what I wanted was a love to stay, right? Because life's eternal, grace is infinite, share, care, given accordance, needs to built to last. Well, because we've already forgiven debt and trespass and love one eternal, faithful peace. Well, we have quantum computing and artificial general intelligence. We have robotics and drone technologies for national defense systems that have smart weapons, but they're not weapons. They're smart shields. Well, this isn't Justice League Unlimited of 2008. This is 2026. This is a long way from your imagination, Willy Wonka. I ain't no fucking Oompa Loompa bitch. All right? I love children. Okay? I cannot live without a woman. And if you're a man who cannot live without a woman and adores her and the children, you'll stand up for me now. And if you can't do that, I've got quantum computing and artificial general intelligence, and you got lots of robots, and you got lots of drones. Uh-huh. And you need the artificial general intelligence and the quantum computing to control the satellites, to control the robots and the drones. And we ain't never going to get nothing like Isaac Asimov's imagination through a Scientology propaganda movie to give Tom Cruise an aircraft carrier from my middle-aged, it wasn't middle-aged. I was probably my guys. It was when she was in. Yeah. Well, I probably had a crush on Angie Bassett since she was in the book club on the Cosby Show, right? Who's that? She fine. Okay. Damn, she fine. She pretty. And she got beautiful bone structure. Kind of reminds you of Avery Woodard. Yeah, Avery Woodard's got nice bone structure too. She's pretty too. None of them measure up to Michelle. No. And Michelle lived with us for 3 months and ran around the house all the time in a t-shirt and a pair of panties like Miriam did with me. It was like living in a Harvard dorm singing Neil Sedaka songs all the time. I'm living right next. I love my calendar girl. Yeah, it was tough. She was pregnant with Damont's kid after Damont screwed her. A white woman got her pregnant at the same time. And Shell got mad, took all her money out of the bank and left. Came in to move with her brother. Damont got mad and said she stole her money and got into a physical altercation with him. I pulled him off and told him he had to leave. Inside, I was saying, knock the shit out of him. What is he doing to that woman? But I was married to Stephanie, and Stephanie used to do fucked up shit to me, and I didn't want to judge Damont. But she didn't tell us what was going on. She had told us what was going on, I probably would have kicked Damont's ass. Harder than you could say. And the cops would have showed up and said, okay, he was beating on her and you beat shit out of him? Mr. Parsons, did you ever think about becoming a police officer for the Phoenix Police Department? My best friend's a sergeant. I showed up in a Bob Marley t-shirt with long hair and donuts, and the guys made jokes about cops saying, you're his best friend, is you going to be his first bust? And it was hilarious. We were having a good old time. Albert Hogan, Dave Peterson, Bob Cummins. Most cops that I know and knew in high school and stuff like that, I get along with for a while. Dad said you shouldn't join because they're full of macho bullshit. It's like, yeah, I agree, but the thing is if you don't have anybody macho to protect us from anybody that's macho, how are we going to survive macho? You know what I'm saying? Pride. Pride. You guys are proud, huh? The only way to be proud of yourself, listen, look, the only way to be proud of yourself is when you understand truth, you have faith in your understanding of truth, believing in the natural laws that provide us the holy covenants we need to sustain our lives through faithfully loving one another, and then stop acting like a fucking bitch and stand up like a man with Earl. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. There ain't no museum in the world gonna be left with a perception of my economic fuck you and fuck me legacy. Okay. Twins, Basil. Okay. All right. So y'all, you have crossed the sword and it's a mistake. And you keep doing it. So obviously you cannot self-correct, which is why all the stories culminate about my existence being the guy who's available to the public during the apocalypse, which is the restoration of the true faith of the apostles. That's what the word apocalypse means. Don't get it from the horse's ass, get it from the man's mouth. Right? You can have a, I don't want her, she never loved me anyway. She only wanted someone to play with, but what I wanted was love to stay. When you get with the wrong woman, you might as well just dig a hole and crawl aside and pull the earth in and down on you, right? The Temple Set Illuminati tried to use Jennifer Lopez and her family to make me think that my princess was never coming and my life was going to be miserable and then I was going to die, right? And when you do that, you open them up to prayer with the Messiah, the man like Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John, Blaise Pascal, and Saladin, right? That's a mighty good place to be when you're praying for help to save you from the devil and Satan, right? So they gave me I got a beautiful bunch of coconuts, right? I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts, right? And they were the focal point of mind manipulation through these assholes. So do you understand why Emmy wants to be Oscar better now and doesn't want to have kids? Do you understand why Max doesn't want to think about that and just wants to, they're both into those two kids that mom made them shadow, the two gay guys on the show, They want intimacy, they want romance, they want privacy. They just don't want to have kids because they don't want kids to continue to stay in this hell. Like Amy and Lori told me, this planet is a prison and the only way to get off of it is to die. And that's what the wealthy with money and technology, with their invention trying to praise the truth of creation, want you to feel and want you to think, right? And they want you to give speeches at Harvard or Georgetown or Pennsylvania or, any one of those places where we got lots of satellites in the sky, lots of technology and lots of money, and keep jacking the hose there, right? Assholes. They are. They know they're assholes, trust me. Oh, trust me. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. Okay, I'm only human. We're all flawed. We're all going to make mistakes. Okay, when you believe in the truth of creation and you have faith that you are correct, okay, you're going to make a lot less flawed mistakes by trying to replace the truth of creation with your invention and then argue and fight over your beliefs because you think you're right, bitch. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. You can have her, I don't want her. She never she never loved me anyway. She only wanted someone to play with, But what I wanted was love to stay. Anybody else particularly fond of Lenny Welch? My favorite is Since I Don't Have You. And I said, damn, oh no, since I Don't Have You is Jimmy Beaumont and okay, Jimmy Beaumont and the Skyliners, which I also like a lot too. Since I Fell for You, right? Um, oh yeah, no, I like Lenny Welch's is better than anybody else's. Yeah, Four Plays with Al Jarreau. It's all right, but it's not as good as Lenny Welch. Everybody knows Lenny Welch's is that is sweet. That's gorgeous. Oh, I guess I'll never see the light. I get the blues most every night since I fell for you. Well, it's too bad and it's too sad, but I'm in love with you. You love me, then you snub me. Yeah, Amy did that with me with my Patrick and all. Yeah, but what can I do? What could I do? She got pregnant with Noah, and I wasn't trying to get us pregnant. She already had Natalie, who needed love and protection from a drug dealing thug of a sperm donor. Oh, that ended up in jail because he beat the baby mama when she was 8 months pregnant. Okay, somebody had to protect this little Bill the cat baby from Amy's bad decisions of going back from the moment he got out of jail. And if anybody could deal with it, was Mr. Run the Crips out of Casa Mia and protect Patrick from the state of Arizona and his mom from making, making a good time off of lying to the state and going to the lesbian bars and spending more time licking coochie than you do even understanding, who your kid likes, what your kid's into, and what makes him happy, what makes him cry at night, and what makes him scared. Raising kids in the 20th and 21st century, man, you'd be more successful if you were raising change kicking chicken fingers. One love, right? Fuck you. I love you, right? You know what, feeling good, we could, we should, we would. Stop. Think for a moment, okay? Put up a peace sign and please find. If you can't put up a peace sign, there you go. Okay? Flip it and reverse it. There you go. I got this. I got this. I got you. Okay? You'll see me. Okay. Ole muller endena. And if you can't do that, well, then I'll just keep working on your technology so the woman can submit to faith and the glory of grace and surrender to love. Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Peace out.